All right, let's talk about one of the most game-changing books out there, Yuval Noah Harari's Sapiens. We're going to jump right in and unpack the huge, mind-bending ideas in this book and figure out what they actually mean for you and me right now.
So Harari kicks things off with a massive question, a real head-scratcher. What is it that allowed us, Homo sapiens, to completely take over the planet? You might think it's our big brains or maybe our tools, but nope, it's something else entirely. So what do you think it is?
And the answer is our ability to tell and believe in shared stories. That's it. These collective fictions, these myths we all agree on, that is our true superpower. It's like the invisible operating system running our entire civilization.
And that gets us to the absolute core of the book. I mean, think about it. Why can humans cooperate by the millions or even billions when a chimpanzee can't even get 100 of its pals to work together? It's because we live in two worlds at once. The real world of trees and rivers, and this other world that we've just made up, built completely out of stories. Harari has a name for this, an imagined reality. Now, this isn't just a lie, it's something more powerful. It's a shared belief that has real-world force. As long as we all agree to believe in it, it works. It's real. And trust me, our world is jam-packed with them. And here's the crazy part. You interact with these myths every single day, and you probably don't even think about it. Take money. What is it really? It's just a piece of paper, or, numbers on a screen, or a company like Apple. It doesn't physically exist. You can't point to it. Same with nations, or even the concept of human rights. They only have power because we all collectively agree that they do. Wild, right? So how on earth did we get this ability? Where did this superpower come from? Well, Harari walks us through our entire history, boiling it down to 3 major revolutions that were like massive software updates for our species. And when you see it laid out like this, it's just staggering. For most of our existence, we were just some random animal in the middle of the food chain. Then, in what's basically the blink of an eye in evolutionary time, these 3 revolutions happened and bam, we're running the whole show. Let's break them down. So, it all kicks off with the cognitive revolution. Something shifted in our brains. Suddenly, we had this incredibly complex language. We can go from just yelling, "Watch out, a lion," to whispering, "The spirit of the great lion is the guardian of our tribe." See the difference? That's gossip, that's myth, and that right there is the key that unlocked our ability to work together in huge numbers. Okay, next up, the agricultural revolution. And this one's a bit of a plot twist. We figured out farming, we settled down, and our populations exploded. It laid the groundwork for cities and empires for sure, but Harari calls it history's biggest fraud. For the average person, life actually got harder. The diet was worse, you had to work more, and suddenly we had kings and peasants. It was a trap. And that brings us to the most recent upgrade, the scientific revolution. Just a few hundred years ago, we made a huge mindset shift. We admitted that we don't know everything. And by embracing our ignorance and funding science to find answers, especially through capitalism, we unleashed this unbelievable explosion of power and technology that's still accelerating like crazy today. Which leads us to a really uncomfortable question. We've got all this incredible power. We've got medicine, technology. We're basically gods compared to our ancestors. But are we any happier? This is one of the book's biggest gut punches. As a species, our collective power is through the roof. We've cured diseases, we've walked on the moon. But if you look at the happiness of the average person, has that kept pace? The truth is, we don't really know, and the evidence we do have is not great. And that's the great paradox, isn't it? We have the power of gods, but we still have the anxieties and dissatisfactions of our ancient ancestors. So if that's our past and our present, what in the world comes next? This is where the book stops being about history and starts feeling like prophecy. It gets into the really big, really scary questions about where we're headed as a species that is literally learning how to redesign itself.
And look, this isn't a sci-fi movie anymore. This is happening right now. We are the first generation in the history of life on Earth that has the power to consciously change our own biology, to rewrite our own code. The very idea of what it means to be human is about to change forever. We might be one of the last generations of Homo sapiens.
These are the tools we're going to use to do it. We're talking about genetic engineering to create superhumans. We're talking about artificial intelligence that could one day become way, way smarter than us. We're talking about merging our brains and bodies directly with technology. This is completely uncharted territory. Okay, that is a lot. It's huge, it's kind of overwhelming. So what are we supposed to do with all this information? Well, the cool thing about Sapiens is that it doesn't just leave you hanging. It actually gives us a kind of toolkit for how to think about all this.
So, step 1, just start noticing. See the shared stories all around you. Question why we believe in money, or borders, or corporations. Step 2, use history as your guide. The AI revolution that feels so new, it has echoes of the agricultural and scientific revolutions. The past gives us clues. And step 3, be skeptical. Question the stories you're being told by everyone, the media, corporations, politicians. Think for yourself.
Then you bring it all back home to your own life. Step 4, ask yourself, is the progress you're chasing actually making you happy, or is it just another shared myth? Step 5, don't check out of the big conversations about things like AI ethics. Your future is being decided right now. And finally, step 6, play the long game. Start making choices based not just on what's good for you today, but for the kind of world you want to see in the future.
Because in the end, that's what it all comes down to. That superpower we talked about at the very beginning, our collective imagination, it's what got us here. It built everything. And now, our entire future depends on what we do with it. So, the final question Sapiens leaves us with is, what story are we going to choose to believe in next?